Okay, I've been gone a while, and a lot of things have happened while I've been away, I suppose. I mean, YouTube's not a job or anything, so I suppose I don't have to upload every day and shit. But anyways, what's happened? There's been an issue with Harvey Weinstein. There's been another shooting. Alright, let's talk about the Harvey Weinstein thing first. That is kind of funny, because really what this Harvey Weinstein and subsequent exposés has shown to me is that people are fucking cowards. How can you be harassed sexually by all these by some Hollywood execs and then keep quiet about it for fucking years, and then all of a sudden, once you see other people start talking about this stuff, then you want to come out? No, that makes you a fucking coward. Worst among them was this fucking Spice Girl, this chick over here, who came out on some holier than thou bullshit, on some, I'm here to do God's work.
I'm here because this is God's will, then I have to do his work. And his work would be to tell the truth from this day forward, each and every single day of my life, and to be honest and to uphold a certain measure of accountability.
This shit happened to you a long time ago, and you didn't say a fucking word until somebody decided to expose Harvey Weinstein. Then, all of a sudden, you grew the fucking balls to go around exposing people left, right, and center. And she's making these bullshit excuses, saying shit like, well, I did try and speak out about it, and now it's shut down.
I tried to speak out in 2004 and 2005 with my manager, telling my manager at the time what I was going through, who, basically told me that I should have done what these desires were from some of these people. And then I tried again with media and press, going to them and them just basically going, yeah, wow, interesting, and then turning their back on it. And I mean, some outlets that literally, it's funny to see them, talking on mainstream news today and like what they're talking about and how they have a narrative. And it's like, well, I really hope that when TMZ and Perez Hilton and all of them, when they start, in Entertainment Weekly and all the ones that know, they all know the details of the dirt in Hollywood. And they keep it hush-hush because they're friends with most of the powers that be. They want to get the best interviews with the most current people. And of course, at the time, I was not considered a current person to talk to when you're walking away from the institution that's number one in the world at the time. So no one really wanted to hear why this girl was leaving the Pussycat Dolls. It was kind of like, who cares? We love the Pussycat Dolls. It's about the Pussycat Dolls.
Well, I mean, she obviously didn't go to those very same people, right? She took to Twitter this time. She took it to the Alex Jones show. Twitter was always fucking there. The Alex Jones show was always fucking there. She can't say she was thinking about her career and... I mean, look, what has changed since Harvey Weinstein was exposed regarding her career and her employment prospects? Nothing. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is that she has finally found some courage, given that somebody else has found the courage to expose Harvey Weinstein. And all these spineless cowards have now come out from the woodwork, talking about how this person's done this, that person's done this. Look, if these people had exposed what could have been exposed a long time ago, do you know how much better things would have been in Hollywood? I mean, think about it. If this chick came out a long time ago talking about how this person in the music industry and how that person tried to do this and tried to do that, what do you think would happen? If anybody tried to fire her for the fact that she came out exposing things, you know for a fact there would be some protests. You know for a fact that people would want to refuse to support that company. That company would have no choice but to fire the people responsible. And if the people or person responsible was actually the head of a certain company, then guess what? Other companies wouldn't want to work with the person, wouldn't want to work with that company who was represented by the guy who heads it. So you see, I mean, these people just don't think properly. They just don't think things through because their cowardice restrains them. And the reason I'm actually putting some blame on this chick along with all these fucking cowards is that the only reason evil succeeds in its endeavors is because people keep quiet about it, right? They don't do shit. You can't see something bad happening and then just, turn a blind eye to it and then say, well, I wasn't doing the bad thing. Well, actually you were. You were complicit in evil because you didn't expose it. What happens when you do not think properly and expose things the way that they should be exposed? The world suffers for it. Because this bullshit excuse that, I need to eat. What about my job, my food? I mean, that can be applied to absolutely anyone, any place, look. You can talk about how Henry Kissinger needed to perpetrate all those fucking war crimes for which he's guilty because he needed to feed himself and his family, right? You could make an argument that those who have captured America via the Federal Reserve are justified in doing so because now they're getting more money from America's tax-paying citizens, money which they can use to feed themselves. You see, that's no excuse. It makes no sense. So, man, it's unfortunate that people are being molested in Hollywood and shit, but it's equally unfortunate that people are keeping quiet about it. Speaking of things which people shouldn't be keeping quiet about, let's talk about how Donald Trump just recently met with Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger, the guy that I just talked about a few seconds or minutes ago. If you don't know who this guy is, Google him. Google what he's done. And Google how apparently he's a very good friend of Trump's. He's been a good friend of his for a long time.
Thank you very much. Henry Kissinger has been a friend of mine. I've liked him, I've respected him, but we've been friends for a long time, long before my emergence in the world of politics, which has not been too long. But we have been really in the, I guess you'd say the New York seat a little bit, but we got to know each other very well. He's a man I have great respect for. He's also somebody, usually I say, have you ever been in the Oval Office? And with Henry Kissinger, I didn't bother asking that question because he has been in this office many times. But it's an honor to have Dr. Kissinger with us, a man of immense talent and experience and knowledge. And I'm going to talk to him for a while, and we're going to learn a lot. But I can say from a world standpoint, and with many of the countries that Henry and I would talk about before the election, because I would talk with Henry before the election, we've made a lot of progress with many of them. We have some outstanding, and we'll handle that as we have to handle it. But we've made a lot of progress in the Middle East with ISIS and so many other things. It's a much calmer place. But Henry, I say often, I inherited a mess, but we're fixing it. So you may want to say something. And thank you for being here, Henry. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, I didn't expect this opportunity. It's always a great honor to be in this office. And I'm here at a moment when the opportunity to build a constructive, peaceful world order is very great. And the President is leaving on a trip through Asia, which I think will make a great contribution to progress and peace and prosperity. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Henry. Appreciate it.
Look, there's no fucking way in hell that Trump could be the savior he's being portrayed to be by scumbags like Marc Dice and these fucking prostitutes if he's friends with somebody like Henry Kissinger. I told y'all, man. I told you guys. You need to watch these guys who claim to be truth speakers and who claim to be helping people out, because that's not what they're doing. They're in it for themselves and for the money. That's what Marc Dice is in it for. That's what Paul Watson is in it for. That's what Alex Jones is in it for. All these other guys who are refusing to talk about these things. I mean, come on. Trump just met with Henry Kissinger. That's fucking hilarious.